2018. Just a few notes. So when you guys came in, you should have taken one of these little slips here. If you didn't, there should be some more still out there. Make sure that you put your name and your organization on here. Before our breakout sessions or anytime there's a free second in here, you can put them up in this green bag. This is what is going to get you guys eligible for funding today. So if you want funding, you want to make sure that you turn this into us.
Where?
Okay, so introductions. I am Savannah Courier. I am the graduate assistant for student organizations and leadership here. Student organizations is just a sector of campus life, but a little bit about what we do in campus life. So we have professional development and training. One of those things would be your solar sessions. This session is mandatory, but all of our other sessions are voluntary for you to attend, but we hope that you do attend. We also have recruitment events. So coming up this week on Wednesday would be Eagle Fest. We also have Winter Fest in the winter. Organizations are able to have a table at these events so you guys can recruit new members and get your name out there. In terms of leadership development, we have our Emerging Leadership Series. Leadership sponsorship. So starting this year, we will be able to sponsor students to go to the National Leadership Convention. We have scholarship opportunities and then our Student Gold Medallion Awards. And then I will let my colleague introduce herself.
Hello, I am Rupa Couture. I'm the Student Organization Student Assistant. Some of you who've been on eBoard for 2 years, this is like time you're seeing me, so hello again. I pretty much do the easy stuff, Savannah does the hard stuff, and I do the easy stuff. I'm her right-hand man, and yeah, I get a lot of emails from the both of us, so yeah.
And then Lucas Langdon is the director for Campus Life, so if you ever need to get a hold of someone who is not myself or Rupa, he would be your contact for student work outside of that. And then, just so you know, if there's anything we want you to take away tonight, it would be what we're just going to talk about next, which is your annual update process.
Okay, so how many people in the room are familiar with this process? Okay, yes, that is very true. That is not enough hands, so please listen up, because this is required that you guys update at least once a year or your org will be frozen. So, why do you want to do this? Because you want to do this so you can participate in events like Eagle Fest, both winter and fall. If you want to get any funding, like from Move and Magic, you need to be updated. Or if you want access to your X Fund, which is very nice because you want access to your money. How often? We ask that you do it once a year or every time a board member changes, and we like to have this done mainly because we want to update board members getting the contact that we sent out. Sometimes we only send it to certain board members, and if it's not updated, then we will not get it down. So what do you have to do? So I'll go in depth, but essentially you have to renew your portal on EagleSync. We no longer are doing paper forms. So everything is through EagleSync, and then once you do it, everyone has to fill out an e-signature form. And then once you fill that out, you'll go through academic and community checks. And then those take about 2 to 4 weeks, mainly because it doesn't all happen in our office. It happens in the Office of Wellness as well. So I would say about 2 to 4 weeks to get it approved. And once it's approved, all your board members will be approved. And the overall process could take from 4 to 6 weeks. So how you do it? So you go to your portal and you click settings, and then you go to organization settings, and then you'll see a green button that's like right up there that says update and renew profile. You click on this. And I'd like to mention that you'll only see this if you're an administrator or if you already have a board position. So if you're trying to update and you don't see this, please feel free to email Savannah or I so we can give you access to do this update. So then you fill a position, so you click update and renew, and it'll take you through the form. It'll have you put in all your e-board members and everything, and then you hit submit. And then once you hit submit, everyone who you listed on your e-board will get an email, like the one above, and it'll say, please fill out your e-signature form. This is important because we need your e-numbers in order to do the academic and community checks. So one thing that's really annoying, I guess, about this form is you have to hit fill out now, and then once you hit fill out now, you have to fill out the important stuff, and then hit continue, and then you have to hit finish. And you have to hit finish a second time. This is bothersome because sometimes people hit finish the first time and it won't go through. So you have to hit finish twice. So please make sure you do that or else we will not get it on our end. So the next thing I would like to mention is the student organization resource page. It looks slightly different now, but it pretty much has all the resources that you guys need. If you guys need a new constitution and bylaws, it shows how to make one of those. If you guys are in here and you have the desire to start a completely new student organization, it tells you the steps on how. It also shows you the process of the e-signature form if you forget what I just said, which is okay. And then it has other stuff like officer transitions, it has all our solar sessions, X-Fund information, so it has all the information that you would need. So before emailing us, check the resource page, we'll probably have some of your answers. But if you don't find it, we love our emails, so we'll definitely check it.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about upcoming leadership and recruitment opportunities. First one being Eagle Fest. So like I said, that happens this Wednesday from 4 to 8 in University Park. The weather looks like it's going to be wonderful, so that's where it should be. Check-in will be at Big Bob's Lake House at 2:30 for organizations that are signed up. If you missed the application deadline or you're a new org that just started and you just met with us, you can still try and get a table for Eagle Fest. Check-in for those who have tables is at 2:30. Our no-show cutoff is at 3:30. So if you don't check in by 3:30 to claim your table, that is then open to students on the waiting list. So anybody who's interested in still getting a table, you're welcome to show up as early as starting at 2:30 to get your name on the waiting list. And then if spots open up, we'll be able to give you a table. So make sure that you show up for that. And then also coming up is our fall leadership retreat. So we used to have a retreat called Connect that was specific to student orgs. This time around, it's no longer called Connect. It is set for November 16th through 18th at the Tamarack campus. It is all expenses paid. And the cool thing about this retreat is that it's not just going to be student orgs. So this retreat will include campus life staff, it will include Greek life, it will include student orgs, diversity and community involvement. So it's going to be awesome that everybody gets to be in one place and collaborate. Your guys' schedules for the retreat are going to be personalized to the organizations and the things that you're involved in. So that's going to be super great. Applications are going to be opening for that on October 1st. You'll be able to find applications on the Campus Life resource page if you're interested in applying for that. Solar sessions. So like I said, this solar kickoff session is mandatory for us, but all of the other sessions are voluntary, but we hope that you come. Sessions are always on Monday nights from 7:30 to 9. Our sessions upcoming, we have October 15th, November 12th, January 14th, February 11th, and March 11th. And we will send you reminders as those sessions come up. We'll send one pretty much every month to remind you of those sessions and what the topics of discussion will be. Solar funding, the best part. So we do offer funding for solar sessions. So the way funding will work this year is that we will be doing raffles at every single session. So tonight, those little name cards is what we're going to use for your raffle. We'll be doing 10 raffles for $50 into your X fund. If your organization does not have an X fund, we aren't able to give you that funding. So we will give you a period of time. If we draw your name and you don't have an X fund set up, we'll give you a period of time where you can set that up if you're interested. But you can only receive funding from any department on campus into an X fund directly. And then we also have a point system to encourage you to come to more sessions than just today. So you will receive 1 point for every board member that attends a solar session and 2 points for every non-board member. At the very last solar session in March, we will award the top 3 organizations with the highest attendance. So first place will get $500 in their X fund, second place will get $350, and third place will get $150. So in addition to being awesome learning resources to you guys, it's a great way to earn money for your organization. So student organizations, finances, and funding. So the main thing I want to talk about is your X funds. So like I said, if you haven't set up an X fund, the link to set up an X fund and the instructions for that is also on the Campus Life resource page. The X fund is basically a bank account through the university. So that's great for you guys. I know that some organizations do set up bank accounts outside of the university, but the nice thing about having an X fund is that stays with your organization as your board members change and you guys move on and graduate. So you don't have to have the hassle of having it in someone's name and then they leave. Like I said, you must have an X fund in order to receive funds from any department on campus. So it's pretty essential that you guys set one up. If you ever have questions about your X fund, our office only has so much information available for that. Like we can't look up your balance or anything like that. So general accounting would be your contact for that. Their email address is listed up here, so I would note that. If you ever have questions about your X fund, what your balance is, things like that, you can also stop in person if you have questions. They're located in 212 Hoover, if you ever wanted to stop in. And then also on our resource page, we have a frequently asked question sheet under the finances section. So that frequently asked question sheet has 99% of the answers that we do get about X funds. So if you have a question, I would look there first before reaching out to us or general accounting. Eagle Connection. So we have an awesome grant that we are able to offer you guys. It started last year, which is our collaborations grant. Organizations are able to apply for this. It needs to be a group of 2 or more, but up to 5 organizations who wouldn't typically work with one another. You guys are able to apply for funding to do an event for the EMU community that is, positive for students, positive for the community, and that's awesome. We didn't have many organizations that applied last year, so I encourage you to apply this year. That's a great opportunity for you guys and a great way to network with other organizations that you wouldn't typically have a chance to network with. Applications for that will open October 1st as well, and those will be located on the resource page. And now we will hand it over to student government. They're going to talk to you guys about funding for student government, which is going to be the largest resource that you guys have for funding for student organizations. And I'll let them introduce themselves. I'm not sure where this is. Oh, perfect.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Hey girl.
My name's Candace Crusher. I'm the student body president for this year.
I love you.
I'm Glenn Francis, the director of business and finance for this year.
I love you.
I'll make this real quick for y'all. So student government, we're the largest student organization on campus because we speak for all 22,000 students on campus. And so this is the executive board for this year. So if you ever are interested in collaborating with student government, we encourage you to reach out specifically to Alana Morales, Ethan Smith, or Tanisha Morton. They're the ones who do the biggest chunk of programming that student government does. So if you ever want to collab with us, feel free to reach out to them. So this is the structure of student government. So the senators do most of the work. They are the ones who bring ideas and event ideas to student government. And they talk to their committee chairs. So this is the Finance Committee, Political Action Committee, Student Affairs, and Internal Affairs. And so those committees are where the work gets done to put on all the events that student government does. And we have currently 9 senators, but we can have up to 21. So if you or somebody you know is interested in joining student government, that'd be awesome because we're slow in numbers. We could really use some more people, especially some minoritized groups. So if you don't think you have enough time, but you're historically marginalized group on campus, we also can be delegates. We have to have 5 delegates. In the past, we've had delegates from Greek Life, from athletes, from Black Student Union, NAACP. So if you or someone you know is interested, please reach out to us. And so some of the services student gov provides, we provide blue books, Scantrons, menstrual care, we have condoms, and we're going to get dental dams pretty soon too. We have free legal services, we have giveaways, we have t-shirts, tank tops, jackets, not jackets, I wish. We have lanyards and things like that. We also promote your event, so if you have an event flyer you want us to promote, feel free to reach out to us and we'll send it out for you. And of course, the biggest part, event funding.
Okay, so funding requests. So I'll try to keep it short, but my main goal is that at least one person in each org that's here leaves knowing how to go about getting funding. Okay, so the first thing I need y'all to do is go to emufc.com. Once you scroll down, you'll see like a little student board club sports section. The word form is bolded. You can click on that, it's going to take you exactly to where you need to go. The next thing you're going to see is you're going to pop up these allocation modules. So it's kind of annoying, but each module is going to answer basically any question you might have. If you don't pay attention, you're probably going to end up sending me an email anyways. So please don't pay attention. So after that, you go through each module. You have to go through those to even get to the form to submit. So after that, the next thing you're going to do is, that's me, okay. So I'll contact you about any other documents I need. If it's invoices, if it's a confirmation from Kathy or event planning, she'll talk to you more about that later. But any other documentation that I don't have that you need to get on the agenda for the next meeting, I will tell you exactly what you need to send me. Next, then I'm going to email you once I have everything, tell you the next meeting date. I'll tell you that you're eligible to be on the agenda for the next meeting. They're typically 2 weeks in 2-week time spans. So the next one is September 18th at 6 p.m. in room 304. So get those requests in soon so I can process those and get you guys on the agenda. So the last slide, come back to the last slide real quick. Thank you. It says that Friday before is the deadline. That's kind of a lie. You can technically do it the day before at 5 p.m. Please don't do that, but technically you can. So as long as you get it to me the day before at 5 p.m., I can get you on the agenda. Next, okay, it's not just like 5 white guys and me. It is like more diverse than that. I don't want anybody to get nervous. It's not that bad. So once you get in front of the committee, the only thing you really need to do is show that you try to get funding from somewhere else. We don't want you to be like, hey, we need $3,000, so let's just go to student government. They cut our funding too. We don't have like money just throw out. So just show that you've done some donation or something to make sure that you try to get money somewhere else. Then try to make sure that your event is open to as much of the evening community as possible. I know certain orgs focus on certain sects of the community, and that's perfectly fine. But each event needs to be open enough to where anybody feels welcome, and the committee will make sure or determine if your event fits that criteria. And then just to be organized, we'll ask you questions about the event. We don't really want to hear like, I don't know too much. So as long as your event is organized, as long as it is something that's open to the community, and if you guys have try to get money from somewhere else, you guys are pretty good at chances to get the money. And then last, so I'll send you an email. If you get accepted, I will send you an email telling you, confirming any documentation that you guys need to send your advisors or whatever. I'll make sure to send you an email telling you you've been accepted. I'll be sending it to Kathy, to accounting, to make sure that process gets started for you to get the money. The process can take up to 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not going to tell you not to email me, but if you email me like 5 days later, like, where's the money at? I don't know. And then we're all like, I don't know. So just wait just a little bit, and if it's still not there after a few weeks, just email me back and I'll try to see where it's at. And then if you have any questions, even if you feel like they're dumb, or I said in this presentation, just send them anyways. You guys have been here for like an hour already. I understand some of you aren't paying attention anyways. So just send me any questions you have, and I will try to make sure I answer them in a couple business days. So with that, I think we're done. All right.
Thank you. And I also just want to know, in terms of timeline for funding, that would also qualify for like funding for solar and grants and things like that. So like if you do win money tonight, it's not going to be instantaneous. There will be a little bit of a wait time there. And I just want you guys to know that. Now I'm going to pass it over to Kathy Steiner in Conference and Event Services. Hi! Oh, so sweet!
For those of you that do not know who I am, how many returning board members do we have in the room? Okay, my favorite question. How many new presidents do we have? Congratulations on getting your position. Most of what I'm going to say is directed to the president, so Please be paying attention. For those that do not know who I am, my name is Kathy Steiner. I am an EMU alum. I'm not telling you the year. Been in my position now for 9 years. September 8th, Saturday, will start my 10-year anniversary here at EMU for my job. I love what I get to do because I get to work with all of you students. My other part of my job that I do here is summer camps and conferences. So I'm literally busy 365 days a year, and I love it. I'm from an office upstairs up in the Student Center, 312. How many of you know where our office is? Oh, yay! That's so exciting. Okay. We are an office of 4 coordinators. So 4 coordinators to all of you. That's a lot of business for us, right? Okay. We are in control of managing spaces here. So if you want to book the Student Center ballroom for your event, fill out the special event form first. McKinney and the Lake House, we manage those. Those are our babies. We do the event tech. We have the building managers. We manage your table setup. We get the catering going, all that fun stuff. The other part of our job in the office is we manage the catering for campus. So if you do an event in Bowen and you want some popcorn through catering, we get that. If you're at the Congo and you're doing a big DJ showdown and you want some VIP snacks up in the Eagle's Nest, we do that for you. So we got our hands in a lot of different things. Go back one more slide, sorry. The bottom one is our office is a part of a larger conversation in terms of helping you guys get more meeting space because the Student Center is exploding at the seams most nights with all of your events and meetings, which I love. We are still getting comfortable with the process of booking academic spaces after 5 for you guys. Last year was our first big year, and while we had some success, there are still some kinks in the system. So if you're requesting for Harold and Porter and Marshall and the library, just bear with us while we're trying to figure out how best to not let you guys get lost in the shuffle of the mecca of student works. Thank you very much. Just a note for you, our fall building hours. If you want to jot those down, take a picture. You can Snapchat it if you want. I'm just learning Snapchat because I'm that level of age. Note for the Sunday meeting crews. How many Sunday meeting people do we have here? I expected way more hands. Okay. Anybody that starts their meeting at noon is officially starting at 12:15 because our building does not open till noon. So please take note of those for you this year. Inquiry form or event form. How many have been on our lovely redesigned Book EMU homepage? That's our landing page. So this form is for anybody that is trying to do just a simple meeting. Hey, I need to get 12 of my members together. It's outside of my multi-date request, which I'll get to in a second. That's the form you go to. Eagle Sync, you can join me in the salon after for my breakout session for that. That is the, I want the ballroom, I've got 700 people, we are bringing in the governor candidates, however it's going to be. The bigger events go to the Eagle Sync. So join me in the salon if you're curious about that. So these are kind of like my babies. We started the special event form before I even got here. It started about a year or two before, and it's progressed. It used to be a paper form that I had to hold on to in my office for an entire year. I can't tell you how many forms I had sitting underneath my desk just to keep track of them. We are now all housed in Eagle Sync. How many of you are familiar with the Eagle Sync form? Oh, that's not a lot of hands. That's scary. Okay, so in your group's homepage, you see a very pretty picture that your group, I'm assuming, picked. There's an events tab underneath that. Click events, and you should see something that looks like a green button that literally says create an event. Click on that and just start answering as many questions on that form that you can. There could be a lot of questions depending on how you're answering as you go through. It could be as simple as, hey, we're doing a dine and donate and we want to put this on WorkSync, use that form. We want to use the auditorium for my dance group's performance, use that form. Anything that's 30 or less, use the inquiry form on booking with you. 30 or more, or the specific spaces that I have listed here, I'm not going to read them all, that hits Eagle Sync. Multi-date forms. Okay, how many of you meet regularly Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? Good. Okay. Of those groups, how many have turned in your multi-date forms? Anybody that is still waiting to turn in their multi-date forms, please do not wait much longer. Space is already at a premium, especially on Sundays. I did a count today because somebody was curious. Our 11 meeting rooms upstairs, just in this building alone where we manage our multi-dates, there are over 40 meetings on one Sunday alone operating out of 11 meeting rooms. Yeah, it's a busy day. It's a crazy day, but I love it. Multi-date forms are available each March, usually about the mid-March mark, 15th, 14th, something like that. They're always available for pickup in our office after that date. The longer you wait to get it in, the longer and harder it is going to be for us to find space for you. You may have to settle for a room that you don't like. You may have to settle for a time that's not ideal. Get those in as soon as you can. If you are still waiting to get them in, please send them in. If you call the office, we can email you the form. Presidents, this is a form that you have to fill out. Part of that form serves as our update form with the office. I apologize and I bug Savannah and Rupa a lot on how to get WorkSync to tell me who's current, who's not, who's updated, to talk to my system. And they just don't like each other right now. So unfortunately, I still have a paper form for you to fill out with our office. The president is ultimately responsible for your organization, right? This should be a yes. That president gets to give permission to anybody in the organization that he or she wants to have responsibilities to working with our office, to making reservations. So not only is that new person representing your org, but also the president. We take the president position very seriously in our office. If somebody comes in and says, hey, I need to book an event for NAACP. Totally a true story when I first started. Sure, what are you looking at? Sure, here's the form, fill it on out. We got to the day before the event, NAACP had no idea what was going on with this event. Person that just said they were with the org literally just lied. So since then, if your name's not on the form in our office, we don't book it until we get president permission. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Can I get a yes on that?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I work very closely with the campus life department. I love them dearly. They work very, very, very hard for you all. So if your group goes frozen for any reason, you go frozen with our office. You lose your reserving rights. You lose rights to reserve any space on campus as an org until whatever problem is causing you to be frozen is fixed. Okay? Not fun, but I thought this morning was cute just to kind of cheer it up a little bit. All right, so I've got a couple pages of some quick tips. Be honest on any form you submit. Those who come to my session will hear my annual story. I can usually catch you in a lie if you're avoiding telling me something on your special event form. No question is stupid in my book, so please just always ask. Presidents are key, we kind of talked about that. Signed contracts and payments are extremely important in our office. This is our final way to check with you that we've got your room set up right, we've got your food right. Don't talk to Savannah about what I did tonight, but without those documentations, I don't know that you guys are good with the event, things are rolling with your group, you've got things on your end set up. So if I don't have either one of those, I have the right to literally pull the event, even if it's the day before. I want you to have successful events, but I need you to work with our office. So if we tell you 5 days out, sign contracts, all that stuff, please help us with that deadline. We talked about campus life updates being separate. If your org goes through any board changes, the president just shoots us an email, stops by the office, we can update that right away. Need something at your meeting or event, ask, do not take. Only because I saw this literally Saturday when I was here. A kid literally walked into our storage room on the 3rd floor and took like 5 E-clips out. Please don't do that. If you need something, ask the information desk, they can get the building manager. If you know in advance that you need it at your event, tell your coordinator, we'll have it on your contract and ready for you. Late equipment equals additional fees. Our team, especially like on a Sunday, is running around. So if we have to keep adding chairs, if you forgot something in your room, you need a projector last minute, we do have fees for those, and I'm sorry to have to do that. Details, we need them. Even if you think it's something that Kathy's not gonna care about, just put it in our meeting, talk about it. Usually it's something that I can tweak a table about, or you don't know how to do something, I can usually help, so just talk to me. DPS at events. DPS is required at any event that has cash. That is a university policy, so if you're doing a dig auction, you're doing a fundraiser, you're doing a donate at the door, all are great ideas, we just have to get DPS there. They will escort the person that is managing the money at the end of the night to wherever they're going, so it is an important thing. I know the Cash App is a new thing, so if you're doing one of these kind of weird events where I tell you this is going to be DPS required, we'll walk you through the steps for that. Lastly, let us help you have a successful event. My opening slide is 100% true. We are here for you. We are a small office, so bear with us. We do not have a front office team at the current moment, so we're doing everything. Multi-dates, phone calls, anything, walk-ins. So if you don't get a response from us right away, please be patient, prod us, give us a couple of days to get through the countless emails that we get each day, but we want you to be here, we want you to be enjoying the building, hosting events. You guys are a creative bunch of students, and I love the ideas you come up with. I was almost to say kids, but that just makes me dated a little more. So please just come to us if you need anything, if you need help. 312 is where you can go.